CBS Fall.
Live from Augusta, we're watching News 1226 at 11.
If you had your eye to the sky, you probably saw this fireball. Tonight, new details as we hear from a man who saw it streak across both South Carolina and Georgia. That's coming up in just a moment. But first, new tonight, District 1 Commissioner Jordan Johnson held a community meeting to hear the concerns of the neighbors in Harrisburg. We've reported on the issues and heard from neighbors before the meeting about the changes they want to see to one of Augusta's oldest neighborhoods. Your Kennedy Payne was at the meeting, and she's in the studio with reaction from both sides tonight.
Well, neighbors in Harrisburg tell me they're no stranger to struggle. For years, they've watched their streets fall into disrepair and felt concerns had gone unanswered. So tonight, they gathered not just to talk about problems, but to come up with solutions. And Commissioner Dawson was all ears. In a neighborhood burdened by blight and crime, people came together, tired but not silent.
I just think it would make it so much better if we could clean the community up, and if we could let the people know the resources we have that they can use, that they just don't take advantage of.
And Commissioner Jordan Johnson listened.
The folks in this neighborhood need to know that someone is advocating for them, and not only just having their commissioner advocate for them, but they're empowered to advocate for themselves too. So we just have to stand together in this one.
Johnson says for far too long, slumlords have taken over. Properties have crumbled and grass has grown wild.
They're leaving our neighborhoods in terrible conditions. They don't live in Augusta, and they're just allowing all kinds of activity. Of course, we want to be sensitive to the fact that people need a place to live and affordable housing is, but slumlords have to be held accountable to the conditions they're leaving our communities in.
Nancy Blanchard says she survived a hurricane and stayed. Now she's helping her neighborhood weather a different kind of storm.
Well, I'm invested in my home. I got hit hard by Helene. I had to replace my air condition, my privacy fence, but I just love my neighbors and my community, and it just means a lot to me.
But Harrisburg isn't just a place of pain. It's full of persistence, and people like Nicole Gentry with Open Arms Outreach are on the front lines.
There's drug problems everywhere, but especially down here in Harrisburg. If we can make a big enough showing and get enough Narcan out on the street, that we can prevent deaths and hopefully eventually get people into treatment.
Johnson says 80% of Harrisburg neighbors live in poverty. Now they're channeling that frustration into action.
I think that starting the neighborhood association is going to be great for the neighborhood, because that gives you at least a monthly opportunity to come out and engage with neighbors. That's when the solutions start to, come to light.
So in a place often overlooked, neighbors came together, finding strength in numbers. And Commissioner Johnson says this isn't the first meeting, and it definitely won't be the last. He says policy changes are on the way, but it won't happen overnight. But he says it starts here with conversations like this one, as neighbors come one step closer to reclaiming their home.
And it's certainly a conversation that is not over. Thanks, Kennedy, for that. New today, we hear from a man who saw the fireball streak through the sky. The National Weather Service said it appeared to be a meteor based on video. And this video from the National Weather Service is News 12 viewers across the CSRA called us to share what they saw this afternoon. Here's what a veteran in South Carolina had to say.
I was in two wars, and I know it wasn't a missile or anything, but it was just strange to see that in broad daylight. Like I say, it was fiery orange with a blue tail, and just coming straight down. And it's broad daylight, beautiful day. And here's this big red thing coming out the sky. So just another day in South Carolina.
I think that's the best. Yeah, just
That's
another day.
cool right there.
This happens every day. He calls Mikhail every day.
I'm telling you, man, I've been saying what's next. I don't want nothing to come next, but what's
No.
next? It's 2025.
Exactly.
It's a crazy year.
But this was really neat to see, and it's cool how impactful this was. We're not just talking about the CSRA, but so many people in other states saw this. But if you didn't know ahead of time what it was,
Right.
I don't know what people probably thought initially, right? It's a scary
Exactly.
situation until we actually looked into it.
Definitely, kind of in a weird way, bringing people together from different states. We all live in the same world, same country, so at least some of us in the South and East got a show in the afternoon, broad daylight sky this afternoon. So that is extremely rare to be able to see a meteor like that and that trail as illuminated as it was during the daytime. So the fact that we could see that smoke trail, because that's what it was behind that meteor streaking through the sky, is an indication that it was able to get pretty deep into our atmosphere before it really started burning up. And even some reports of possible meteorite, pieces of that meteor in Henry County, Georgia today. So just impressive stuff. Also heard maybe some reports of investigations taking place in Greenville, South Carolina for possible meteorites making it to the ground. So just crazy stuff out there today. That was a live look over Beach Island. Of course, it's dark outside. We have dry scans on radar for tonight. Taking a thought back to last night, it was a total